Hi from TeamOWL. It's Temple University College of Engineering in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is our presentation for the final round of the Cybersecurity Awareness Week 2020 Embedded System Challenge. The team members, Benjamin Bluen, myself, I'm an Air Force veteran. I did munitions tech and worked with engineers. And I am interested in embedded programming and machine learning. Lily Veloso was the IEEE Extra for Student Chapter and is an intern at L3 Harris. She's interested in cryptography for research. And then Zhufu Wang, or Jeff, as he goes by sometimes, has his master's in SCIM, intern at Temple IT Services, and he really is interested in cyber physical system security and cloud security. So the setup for hardware involves using some type of Linux or Debian-based operating system. You can also use Windows subsystem for Linux, which is what I used. To create the extension, we use SDK-man to install Gradle and keep that package current. The QEMU as an emulator to test static programs, as well as Linux and kernel. It can run Linux and kernel, or emulate Linux environments from other ISAs. And then Ghidra is the open source software given to us by the NSA that allows us to decompile and analyze the ELF files given. During importation, using Ghidra of some ELF file, the RISC toolchain specificities are determined by Ghidra. You're probably using the SLED, SLED keywords. The middle window shows the assembly in the extensible link format, which is literally a list of the assembly code to be put and turned into X file to be put on a board. So the decompiled C doesn't necessarily represent the assembly, but Ghidra does a pretty good job of pulling out what it can. ELF package, we'll start with set A, and we'll do the two that we found immediately the easiest. The assembly for Amnesia is shown below, specifically memory locations and line locations where there's an arbitrary string left over. This immediately should be removed from market or from production. Professional coder would leave some type of string, maybe a comment, maybe like a funny comment, longer yodels are more fun by accident, but not some kind of string or something that physically affects the memory or chip. So here's the Amnesia C code, and using a best guess, you can spell out Yodlehu with the order of the switch cases being 3, 1, 10, 6, 5, 4, and 0. The problem with this is that it doesn't necessarily spell out Yodlehu exactly, but since longer yodels are more fun, this spelling would be the example Yodlehu, but include extra letters and syllables. So that's a best guess. So the second set is breakfast, which has another arbitrary string left over, which again has the same problems as seen in Amnesia. The challenge function on the right uses a string compare to some arbitrarily long string. Set B, initially we opened Chase, and it immediately was apparent that it used FreeRTOS. The styling where the X and the V are in front of the camel case function calls, and then the way that the PRV pointer, all of that is FreeRTOS. And RTOS stands for real-time operating system, and it's ultra-deterministic in that you should be able to determine something will happen within a certain amount of time every time. And it's used in, for instance, when you get into a car accident and you need the airbag to deploy within a certain amount of time before your head hits the steering wheel. That's a reason that you would need something to happen within a certain amount of time. Airliners and jet fighters going to space uses real-time operating systems. We found too late that there's a FreeRTOS demo on FreeRTOS's website specifically for our board. This could be used to help break the second set of abstraction in this set of challenges. So we managed to solve or find real problems with 3 of the 5 challenges from set A and just started to scratch the surface on set B. We used Ghidra to decompile and analyze the ELF files. We used a lot of visual inspection and writing down next to the assembly exactly what's happening in memory. We tried to use Anger, but Anger couldn't be used because it did not have that RV32 extension. It didn't have RV32 instruction set applications. That actually is our final. Thanks for letting us be a part of this competition.